You are now rocking with Brother Batar on BTR and Brother Supreme, third out loud, a God, Lord of Lords. Peace, much love to the family out there. Once again, it's good to be on with you. Today's topic, we're dealing with Born Black God, Made Gangster. For a lot of callers that like to call in, the guest number, we got two of them jumping off. The first one will be 347-426-3594. Second guest number, well, you can press 1 on your dial, 1-877-907-8064. Once again, much love to the family that tune in and do their thing. I'd like to give big ups to Brother Lord Malcolm, Brother Pooh out there holding it down in UK, Mama Pearl still holding it down, what it is, Sister Latita, Black Love, the queen up there in Detroit, you know, call in, get at me now. I hear you call in, you know what I'm saying, but I haven't heard from you what it is. And last but not least, if there's anybody I forgot, much love to you. Now, with no further ado, let the brother come on, champion of truth, Lord of Lord God, the God supreme. Welcome, brother. Welcome. What it is.
Righteousness.
Righteousness, brother. All right. Now, we deal with this topic today. Once again, Born Black God, Made Gangster. First of all, when you look at the God concept, because it's always mentioned a lot through different religions, through different parts of the African-American community, or just the melanated community, the concept of God, and when we deal with it from a monotheistic standpoint, a polytheism or pantheism, what are the difference between many different gods, right, or between what we call reincarnation, or between the monotheistic faith, or just dealing with the Word of God and how it's connected to mankind, or how it's connected to Quran, Islam, or Christianity? Brother, the microphone is yours. Do what you do.
Well, they all are division. You know, religion's division, division's religion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a true God, you're about addition. Addition is plus or positive,
mm-hmm.
or adding.
Mm-hmm.
Subtraction is negative, and everything in between is divided.
Mm-hmm.
So being about what the gods are about, we're about additioning. We're about unifying our people, wakening up our people from negativity or ignorance. So that's a natural addition right there, is because they're getting knowledge and they're coming out of their current condition, which is mental, with great substance, and it is becoming a positive impact where they can take a forward motion in their life. In other words, they start doing things that are progressive, things that are positive, things that are upright.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm. And you know what? That's definitely a powerful way to put it. Now, in terms of the condition of the young black man in America today, and I would say the young black woman, gangsterism and the image of gangsterism, would you look at that as just a European white supremacist self-destructive image, or would you look at gangsterism as something that America promotes?
Gangsterism comes from, we were mentioning division also. It comes from a divided mind, divided home, divided people,
mm-hmm.
and divided organizations that were so-called revolutionary organizations in the 60s and 50s and whatnot,
mm-hmm.
that converted into gangs because they never dealt with their mental problems. So all the devil did is brought drugs and had them infiltrated and had made drug dealers out of them, had them made them sell drugs amongst their community. Well, I wouldn't say made them. Set up the condition, because the devil can't make you do anything. He just put it out there and set the condition up.
Mm-hmm.
What simply had taken place was
mm-hmm.
he put the condition out there,
mm-hmm.
and because of their ignorance, like I mentioned, because that's the killer today. The killer today ain't people. It ain't no outside force. It is the inner ignorance of the people. So their ignorance made them resort to self-destruction and black-on-black crime and murder. And the ignorance is the self-hatred, all the things that they didn't want to check. You know, when they were marching and talking about we want equal this, equal that, you know, when the devil let them in their system, all he's going to tell them is they were spear chuckers and jungle bunnies, and they were slaves. He's not going to give them knowledge of self.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big mistake by them fighting and, you know, having guns and whatnot,
right,
so that they could be accepted in this white man's system, which he wasn't going to give them nothing.
Mm.
So That became their downfall. And because they didn't get no knowledge of self,
Mhm.
because he taught them they were just spear chuckers and niggas, that was still implanted in their mind, that's the way they treated one another.
Mm. Mm.
And that's where you got the gangs. You know, the gangs, the main ingredient for the gangs is self-hatred. That's all that is.
Mm. Talk about it. Teach, brother. Mhm.
And the self-hatred is the result of their ignorance.
Mm.
We can stop gangs overnight if they had knowledge of self. Cut the
Talk
self-hatred out. There would be no killing.
Mm. Now, let me ask you this. Would you definitely say that now you have a lot of black people that say that definitely with the Moorish Science Temple, that's something I wanted to bring up. The five-pointed star, some people say representing peace, love, justice, and freedom, you know, and it's supposed to be the symbol of David in the Jewish culture, and the six-pointed star is supposed to be the symbol of Solomon. Now, in the Moorish Science Temple, a lot of their different colors and some of the stars that they have, some of the Egyptian culture that they have adopted with the pyramids, the symbol of the all-seeing eye that you see on the back of the dollar bill, the pyramid supposed to represent the European Masons or the ancient Egyptians. Well, if you look at some of the Moorish Science Temple colors, they have a lot of colors of the Myron gang today, which we call in the south side of Chicago, but they're also supposed to be connected to the Bloods. Now, they're known, if I'm not mistaken, as the Peace Stones. You might have heard of a black man called Jeff Ford, somewhere in 65, 68, and that society, those were nations. Those were not gangs originally. You know what I'm saying? Gangs is what the white man had. Even if you look at the gangs in New York, where they show you back New York, ancient America, or that's their colonial ancient version, right? In the 1800s, or going towards the 1900s, you'll see that the Irish, the Dutch, and the Ottoman Italians, most of those white people, they were the gangs. And during that time, they was different than the black gangs today. You see, they didn't kill their own people and run from the gangs. Most of those white people was killing their own and lynching Negroes. The movie Gangs in New York should come in 2-disc CD. You know, these devils, they put it out there themselves. So when you look at the gangs in New York, the Irish and the Ottoman and the Italians and Dutch, right, you'll see that they already was shutting down police departments, shutting down fire departments. They always was using violence. They was using the wrong source. Then you had the Scarface, Al Pacino, you know what I'm saying, and the Fidel Castro phase going on, and the Cuban drug trade of 81, you know what I'm saying, coming into Miami, not even dealing with the Colombians bringing cocaine into New York with the FBI, right, part of the CIA. And you'll see that those images have literally became grafted, meaning that Scarface, Al Pacino, right, that Italian Jew, right, has nothing to do with a black man, nor gangsterism. We're gods. We're not gangsters. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the gangster image, which was a white image, that image now, right, not just now, for a while has literally came over to black. And keep in mind, again, but see, the Crips and Bloods and whatnot, that was another movement. Whether you say Raymond Washington, whether you say Tukey Williams, right? Then if you mention Larry Hoover, right, he sold over millions of drugs. Possibly he was working with the FBI or possibly CIA. Same way we talked about Rick Ross a while ago, you know. And the rapper Rick Ross that took on his image, but even in hip-hop and black music today, gangsterism has become the foundation of a black expression, meaning that black people, right, or at least young black men in America and other countries, have a connection to gangsterism, which that's not even our culture. That's not even who we are. But it seems like the gangster image has been pushed from the whites, and it's something that black people are embracing. Can you explain why do young black men embrace it? And are you aware of the Peace Stones, Jeff Ford, and how that nation in 65 was so powerful, right? They say that they shut down the Chicago Police Department. The Chicago Police Department was shut down by the Peace Stones, Jeff Ford, Peace Stones. And that was the civil rights area. And he was even getting money from Muammar al-Gaddafi. What, you think Farrakhan was the only one? You better check that documentary of Gangland and research the Peace Stones. And they was getting money financed from Iraq, right? Since, you know, Muammar al-Gaddafi, before he was the king of Libya, he was also the king of Iraq, too, at one point. They'll tell you that. Before Saddam Hussein, you see? before the so-called Bin Laden of Al-Qaeda, CIA covert Arab, right? Muammar al-Gaddafi, right? He was given millions of dollars, not just Farrakhan, but before Farrakhan, he was giving those millions of dollars to the Peace Stone Nation. And that's when the white man, the devil, that's when the Chicago Police Department, right? That's when they made a big deal out of this Peace Stone Nation. And they had pyramids and all kinds of different symbols that the Moorish Science Temple still wears today. Now, I don't know if you're aware of that the Moorish Science Temple used the same symbols and the colorings that the gangs Peace Stone used.
And we'll get in. Okay.
All right.
In the aftermath of 92's uprising, a high-profile private sector initiative was formed to create Rebuild LA. The $6 billion investment program defined its goals as long-term systemic change and promised to create 74,000 new jobs within the riot zone over the next 5 years. At the same time, a tentative truce between several Crip and Blood sets helped establish a tone of optimism for South LA's war-weary community. But just 1 year later, with many South LA neighborhoods still in ruins, Rebuild LA quietly closed its doors.
A young generation of kids heard about this promise. They momentarily got their hopes up. They committed to this peace treaty, and instead they learned that it was just another fork-tongued promise of the man. It failed. We should have known what the future would be in other cities from here to Baghdad.
Gang warfare would resume, and for the next 15 years, continue unchecked, with almost no effective outside intervention.
You know what everybody looks at him and says? You're the worst motherfuckers in the world. We don't like you. We don't want you. We don't even want you to survive. We want you to go away. We want to pretend like you don't exist.
I'm coming straight out of Compton. When something happens in South Central Los Angeles, nothing happens. It's just another nigga dead.
This is my grandson. His name was Mark Cornelius. He was 17 years old, very promising young boy. And in 1996, he came here to Los Angeles to visit me. I begged my son to allow him to come from Yuba City, California, to visit me. He was here 3 weeks, and he was shot and killed 10:30 in the morning, walking across the street headed for Dorsey High School. He didn't have gang colors on. He didn't even know too much about the gang. As a matter of fact, he said to him when I warned him about where to go and where not to go, he said, "Grandma, this is America. This is where we're supposed to be free. This is where we're supposed to be able to walk down any street we choose." And the next day, he died doing what he thought was his right.
Death is a way of life now in our community.
Can you imagine a society where mothers are burying their children instead of their children burying their mothers? besides that, you know what I mean? All from the road.
All right. All right. Now, Supreme, are you on with me, brother?
Yes, sir. Right here.
All right, all right. Powerful clip. In L.A., why are the gangs are as vicious? So they say some of the biggest cities, New York, Chicago, and L.A. They say Chicago is legalized gangsterism. Now, the point that I'm talking about, not just with the black God, of us understanding the righteousness and the supreme element of ourselves in our true righteous form, and also speaking on the gangster, which is the white supremacist image of the white man, right? If you look at, we talked about a while ago, the guns and the dope and all that, that's his gift that we're playing with as toys now, right? Playing ball with this man. But with the gangs, how do they support the police system? Because if you didn't have gangs, which is a self-destructive image to black people, promoted also by other house Negroes like John Singleton, you know, your Boys in the Hood, your Minister Society, your South Central. When you look at a lot of images, even in the hip-hop videos, right, which is supposed to be a form of pop in a way, right, you still see the gang image, killing, dope, and drugs. So I want to ask you also, what fascinates the young black man in terms of being a gangster? It's so ridiculous that it's almost to the point where you can't even wear certain colors.
Right. Well, that's like I said, that's due to you know, the tribal mentality, and that predates to the motherland when we were tribes. Although we were one, we weren't in disunity. So since the divided homes, the broken homes, the self-hatred, you know, we were just like everybody else, like the Chinese. Matter of fact, we were more closer than the Chinese and Mexicans. You think they close. We originally came here, we were close like that.
Wow.
It took many years for him to divide and break that up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we would look after one another. We'd be able to sleep with 50, 100 of us in a house together in peace. And we used to do all that. So divide and conquer.
And you know it's powerful because that's the same thing that the white slave master, Willie Lynch, that you read about, slave owner in the West Indies. He gave an order out to all the other white slave owners and Negro slave owners, right? Because you had black slave owners too, not just white ones. Not just because of a Morris dynasty, but you actually had black slave owners too. But Willie Lynch gave out an order to most white slave owners, and he told them that if you ever want to control your Negroes, all you got to do is put the young against the old, put the old against the young, put the dark-skinned slave against the light-skinned slave, put the light-skinned slave against the tan slaves. Now, you mentioned a lot about house Negroes, Uncle Tom's, tan devils and black devils, to go with the white devils. Where does the tan devil play into, and the unseen devil?
Oh, okay. Well, the tan devils are those who are in black skin, although they uphold white supremacy, the white agenda. In other words, they want to see us oppressed. They want to kill one another, or they want to see us killing one another. Probably those tan devils are the ones that are making the Negroes kill each other. They're the ones that are saying, "Hey, man, let's sell this dope. Let's do this. Let's it." And there's a lot of Negroes that think they're real black people because they're looking at the skin not from within. You see, from within, that's where the black devil is, because he's a devil in skin. I mean, pardon me, he's a black person in skin, or he appears to be an original person, although within the skin, he's a damn devil. So he's the true wolf in sheep's clothing. He got sheep's clothing because he has the righteous clothing or the righteous skin or pigmentation, which is melatonin. So he's a melanated person, although he's a devil. You see? So he's the Caucasian and tan skin or black skin, what you would say.
Mm. And that's probably when you say the Caucasian and black skin. Now, with a lot of the different black gangs, what would you say the difference between the black gangs and some of the Caucasian ones that we mentioned about earlier in this telecast? What's the difference between them? And why do so many of the different black gangs wear so many different colors? And do you think that was from the white people's gangs? Or would you say that most gangs had different colors representing things? Remember, I just mentioned earlier about the Keystone Nation when you research them. And all of the pyramids that they had. This is in 65. The pyramids, Stars of David, Stars of Solomon. And you would sit back and ask, you know, what the heck does...
And also recall, if I may, recall that gangs is also Gasonry or Masonry.
So let's get into it. Mm-hmm.
You know, you get initiated in the gate to be a Gason. It's an initiation. They have their signals or their signs and symbols. They deal on signs and symbols like the Gasons deal on signs. Everybody can't interpret a gang sign. Now, the fact they have a certain way where they wear their hat or the way they throw up a certain hand sign to alarm somebody is, you know, if it's a rival gang or whatever, they can communicate, you know, not like the Gasons, because the Gasons is international, although amongst themselves or their own organization or gang, they have a communication, secret communication. So they have rituals, you know, some gangs, you know, I even know of some where, you know, in order to get in that gang, you got to go on a mission, meaning you got to, you know, put the work in. You got to do a murder just to get in the gang. You see? So that's a ritual in itself. That's a where you go out and sacrifice somebody in itself. So they deal on signs and symbols, you know, graffiti. Everybody can't interpret graffiti, although they know when they write something on there, CK, BK, or whatever, they know what it means. Or if you know the street language, we know what it means. You see, you know BK is blood killer, and we know CK is crab killer, crip killer, whatever. And you know, SEG or whatever, we know what those if we don't know what they mean, you know, we at least have a recollection of how to decode it. You see, although it's all Gasonry. You know, it's all fraternities. That's what a fraternity ain't nothing but a gang. Fraternities got their own colors. Fraternities got they signals. They got they, you know, if they Omega Pi Phi or Omega, what's the other one? Alpha Omega. With some of the other fraternities, those Greek freak fraternities, you know, the Betas, you know, I mean, all those people, they got, you know, they throw up a B or they throw up a certain hand gesture. That's all Gasonry.
It's powerful, brother. It's powerful. So you're saying that the gangs are no different than religious organizations or religious congregations, pretty much. Just like
they were organizations.
Okay. Right, that's right. But what connection would the gangs have to Masonry? I mean, I know Islam and Catholic religion, Christianity does.
Yeah. Their connection to Masonry is first the Masons started the gangs. That's one. Another thing is the same rituals and traditions or whatnot are a part of them as well. know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Now, I know you're very aware that at least, 95%, 85, most of your blacks, Hispanic, and Mexicans, right? Most of your Hispanic, right? And Mexicans, at least they make up 85% of the gang population. In prison now, in the state prisons, whether you're dealing with Rikers Island, San Quentin, a lot of the counties in different states, in different jurisdictions, which is the same thing, right? And under the crime code, because I'm not going to say here in Pennsylvania, it's the same as in Kansas where you would be, or the same way as another brother in Detroit or Chicago. But basic criminal crime codes is normally how the bail bondsmen are able to set the bails, how the judges are able to give out the time, how the PO's going to play their role into it, and how the DEA, the lawyer, they all operate through criminal crime codes. And it's so interesting because a lot of Moors talk about law, nationality, status, you know what I mean? But through the criminal crime code, which are really commercial, really they should be under the UCC, Universal Commercial Code, right? But under those criminal crime codes is also how a lot of money is generated in each county or each state. So now, under the Homeland Security Act, right, you had the Patriot Act passed by Bush. Obama just repassed that. And then you had the Terrorist Act passed by Bush and is illustrated now. It's being repushed by Obama, right? But they have something dealing with the U.S. Marshal. I don't know if you're aware of U.S. Marshals, Operation Falcon. The U.S. Marshals are high federal, they work with the FBI. They are high police that can come and get a fugitive from any state, whether it be New York, L.A., Chicago, no matter where you at. And they also can put up post signs of different people that are wanted based on their county and state who puts the money out for their capture. The U.S. Marshal are like the National Guard, a military police force that are sweeping America by storm. Everybody talks about the FBI, the CIA, and the DEA, and the regular local law enforcement, but I don't hear many people talking about the U.S. Marshal. They're really your bounty hunters. So if you kill somebody in Kansas and you run out here to Philadelphia, they can have, your county will pay money, right, for your prison bond, right, since they created a fictional and all real flesh and blood, right? They will pay money, your state and county will pay money for your capture. So if your ass run from Kansas, or if you run from here, if you're still in the U.S., the domestic states, or L.A., and you think you're getting away from Kansas, they will send U.S. Marshal manhunters from your region. Then they got another one known as the Regional Task Force. And this Regional Task Force is a higher level than the SWAT team. And come out and capture you because your state and county puts out money based on the criminal crime codes of the law that you violated. For an example, assault and battery, that's under the criminal crime codes in every jurisdiction. Simple assault, domestic violence, terrorism, all that. And being as though the white devil in this country, who's the original terrorist, being as though he can't keep the Muslim Arab terroristic thing going on with the CIA covert shit. Now what they're doing is they're pushing gangsterism. And they're pushing the young black man. Remember, first the black man was labeled as a terrorist, and then he was a Muslim. That image was all over the place, where you see black Muslim and hip-hop. Then they changed that shit around now, you see. And now if you take a close look at it, they got the gang ATT Tech under the U.S. Marshal. And they repassed the RICO Act, RICO law, which is 125 years, going back to Al Capone, a crack Italian that ran Chicago in 1920. You familiar with Al Capone? They even made a movie on this devil. The Untouchables. He was so illiterate, they said, Supreme. He was illiterate. Couldn't even count his money. And this devil ruled Chicago. Al Capone was literally illiterate. When the police took him down and bust his ass, what fucked their mind up so much was they said, well, how the hell did he rule this whole city, Chicago? And he couldn't even count his money. He had people counting his money for him and everything. But Al Capone was so big of a mobster, which we call gangster, right, that they had to pass this RICO law. Are you aware of that? Under 125 years. They hit Dr. York with that. Malachi York. And called the New Wapians religious cult, which they really wanted to call them. They might have called them a gang. And Dr. York got locked up, not only for child molestation, but the 125 years under the RICO law. That's what they hit him with. Are you aware of that?
Oh, certainly.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about the RICO law? And well,
exactly what it is. It's a recall. I mean, that's when if they want to get you or recall you or get you back on some stuff, you know, most of these guys are these so-called gangsters. We mentioned this the other night. You know, Frank Lucas is one. You know, they let these niggas get to a certain point and make them money before they bust them and take whatever millions or hundreds of millions they got. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So it's like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna bust Lucas when he get to $500 million, or $500 million. Then we're gonna get that nigga for everything he got, because he's especially if you in danger then, because you got $500,000 in your pocket. You just might one day snap out of your coma. You might start building things for your people or something. They can't have that.
You know what? That's powerful. You just said that. So you said, let me get this right. One of the reasons why that the law enforcement system busts a lot of the black drug dealers or kingpins, right, is because they fear that they might take all that money and do something for their people. But
destructive, right? Same thing with the celebrities and everybody else. Matter of fact, they said that with the celebrities and whatnot, you know, like for example, the basketball players and whatnot, people that have the agents. I think it was who was that? Rich Gannon. He had mentioned that those people have agents, and that's just what they are. They're agents. They didn't make sure them niggas don't. They can only give to 3 charities, and that's United Way, the Boys and Girls Club, and Red Cross, I think. Other than that, them niggas can't do nothing. They tell them niggas what to do with their own money. They can't do nothing with their money. That devil makes sure he's running the show. Because they just might, you know, start using the devil's money and putting businesses out there, putting homes and whatnot for their people. You know, supermarkets, farmland. They just might do that. Muhammad Ali did it, and other entertainers when they were, you know, out there.
Joe Frazier.
They had people. Jim Brown put some money up toward black enterprises and whatnot. The football guy, Jim Brown. So they just might do something with it. Niggas do have an option of waking up. You know, they still are niggas. It still is a possibility that they just might wake up. That's always there.
You know what? That's powerful you mentioned about waking up. Now, when you say waking up, is the devil afraid that they're going to wake up to their God self, to the right way that they're supposed to be living? And once the black man and woman wake up to the right way they're supposed to be living and get rid of this gangsterism shit that they've been having in their souls, which is a destructive force, then there ain't no stopping them.
Right. They're afraid they might stop being niggas for once in their life. And when that takes place, that puts this man in petrified condition. It petrifies this devil. That is his worst nightmare, is niggas waking up not being niggas anymore. You know.
Now, what's the difference between a nigger, a Negro, and a black person? Break that down.
Well, a nigger and a Negro is the same. You know, that means they're both neutral or nothing. And a black person, black represents authority. You know, the black represents power. So that's letting us know we are really the gods of the real power by us being black. And that's why the police wear black, the judges wear black, because the black itself is dominance, and it symbolizes authority. So that's why the devil wears it for authority. All of his positions of authority, they wear black, and they wear it for a reason.
Now, would you consider the law enforcement in America, whether it be FBI, CIA, or regular feds, local, or U.S. Marshal, would you consider these law enforcement agencies gangsterism within the system? Because there's a lot of
I was mentioning the other day, all a tax is, when people pay taxes, all a tax is, tax means my take. That's what the government takes out of it. And a take is mafia. That's dues. When people say, you know, when they say you got to pay a tax or whatever, you know, the mob, they say you got to pay dues. That's your taxes. That's their take. So they say, what's my take out of this? What's my cut, my percentage? So that's what the devil's government is. They're the original gangsters. Gangsters.
Yeah, that's powerful. Probably
on the streets. That's what I said. That's all gangstering too. That's where they got it from. The same as the church. The church got the pastor who they give the money to. In the Masonic Lodge, they have the worshipful master. And he drives a Cadillac or he goes on vacations or whatnot. See?
And then he comes back and he becomes the God. Right. Literally.
Yeah, pastor is their God. He's the one telling them about whatever they believe in. If there was some spooky Jesus, they wouldn't have to go to church. Jesus would just come and talk to them the same way it's supposed to be talked to their master. To their preacher. But the preacher is taught by his master. He has to go to a preacher's school to get his license, you see. In the preacher's school, he's taught by his master, the devil, how to interpret the Bible, what to say to the people.
So it's definitely powerful, bro. It's powerful, you know. Got me thinking on that. And for a lot of listeners that listen to today's topic, Born Black Guy Made Gangster, the guest number, 347-426-3594. And the second number, once again, for you. That's 1-877-907-8064. Brother, would you like to fly another clip?
Oh, definitely. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it, brother.
And if they don't get resources for these youngsters, what's going to happen? You got another group of angry children, another group of killers.
If someone right now said, what do you want in your life? I'll give you anything you want. What would it be?
Man, one thing, just one thing, freedom. My wish would be for Crips and Bloods to realize that everybody else is against us. And if we don't come together, it's going to be over for us.
So if the resources were here, you're saying these kids wouldn't choose gangs?
No, man. You choose that because there's no hope. You in no man's land. There's no hope. People taking choices of going to college, and that's like making a choice. Here you ain't making no choice. No choice. It's like you waiting for somebody to come save you, man, and you just ain't gonna never get saved, man.
I did the gang banging, the stomping out the sets, the getting shot, the drive-bys, the getting shot in drive-bys, to going to jail, to all that, right? But had I had a chance, or someone else tell me, fool, you playing the devil's game.
Since I've been in the gang, man, I've been to the county jail, to several penitentiaries, and back and forth through war as far as gunfights and stuff. So this perception that gang banging is wonderful, that it is the lifestyle to live. It's no lifestyle to live, period.
Your reward for gangbanging is to be crippled, lamed for life. Your greatest reward is life plus 40 years. Your ultimate reward for gangbanging is death, and you don't come back from that.
Today, the streets of South LA have given rise to a new sort of gang, determined to fight not simply for turf or colors, but for the lives of the next generation.
I work with about 400 or 500 high-risk youth every month. The first thing I do, I apologize to them because I have to let them know my generation has failed you miserably. See, I'm 51 years old. I've been through decades of this structure. So we let them know that, hey, we have done some wrong just like you doing wrong.
These peacemakers, many of them former gang members, have stepped out from behind the guns and are now standing between them, literally risking their lives with the formation of street-level gang intervention organizations. Privately funded, receiving almost no support from either state or federal government, these grassroots movements are taking the first crucial steps towards stopping the cycle of gang violence.
People who care, who want to see a better community, who want to see a better country, we got to start getting together and having some sit-downs so that we don't keep breeding generations and generations who only think that that's the way to go. An alternative to that lifestyle has to be put in place. And if they want to see change, then they're going to have to be willing to invest in that alternative lifestyle.
One thing my son told me one day was, Daddy, I said, what's up? He said, I know how you get your money. I said, how I get my money, son? He said, them dirty people come up, you give them that white stuff, and they give you money. I said, is that right? So he took off and rode off on his bike, and I sat there thinking and wondering, damn, my son really out here watching me doing what I do. So if I still continue on robbing, whatever it is, he's going to do the same thing. Right then, I made a choice in my life. Whether I was going to stick by them, stick by us. Us is meaning me and my neighborhood, my gang. Them meaning my kids. So I chose to stick with them. Turned around a little bit. Now I'm a coach, role model, proud parent, and I'm living.
I'm the one that prevented my own self from going to different areas. I prevented it because of my mentality and because of what I did, how I dressed, how I carried myself. If I went into an area and I'm dressed in all red, I'm looking for problems. And I would be looking for problems. I'd be looking for the guys in blue. I'd be looking for the guys that look at me. And when they looked at me, now I'm ready to deal with this problem. I'm ready to show my anger. I'm ready to show my ignorance, that I can get just as stupid as you. But when I stopped that mentality, when I started dressing differently, well, I started thinking differently. I've increased my freedom to where I would go anywhere. And when I get there and see certain individuals, they will say, well, that's Skip from over there. And we can, hey, how you doing? And we can talk now. And it's not a problem. I go to everybody's neighborhood, and it's not a problem.
How do you like that?
Love it. Love it. I truly enjoy it.
There. Can you hear me? All right. Let's see. Continue on with these clips.
Which one? This one.
Yeah. My thing is, I really don't know how I want to how to reach them, what really needs to be done. Best I can do now is start off at trying to talk to people, but what actually needs to be done, I don't know.
Well, just like you said, this is the beginning of the start of it. You know what you want to do. Like I say, it's going to take unity. When I say unity, I mean unity.
you, in your story, in your history, in your little, I mean, we can go by the school and go by the other neighborhoods and, you know, social centers and all that. We can do that step by step. Everybody at this table, we all can with it, but we also can utilize the internet at the same time. So, like I say, like this conversation, any conversation that we have, based on really growing and developing and changing the situation, the current situation, and us as adults taking the responsibility for what's going on now and manning up to it and doing what we can to, you know, change the shit. And as he said, like, wake up the sleeping dragon and teach these kids that they can do anything that they want to do, and the shit that they seeing on TV or seeing in the videos and hearing niggas glorify, it ain't really what it is, you know, because everybody talk about the high side of the game, but you don't never really hear nobody talking about, like, you know, motherfuckers getting the basketball jersey numbers for time and looking at calendars and being locked up, and you can't accept the fact that because you wasn't there, now your daughter a rat. That shit that come along with the game, the motherfuckers don't cover, so we can, like, find a way to just make the kids realize the consequences of their acts, because that's the worst problem right now. They just not aware. It's not that they wanted to be on bullshit and be on crazy ass shit. They just ain't had nobody to teach them or lay down the law. You know, so
it really don't make no sense that you know, I got not maybe just all friends, but you know, I can put a list of 150 associates of people I know that's dead. You know what I mean? From out here from all the nonsense, over nothing.
over 100.
Yeah, over 100, over a girl, and then they say it's gangbanging. All put on our community, looking at us in a bad light. When, you know what I mean, that ain't really what it was. Actually, I guess I'm looking for some cats to go stand up and not be gangsters for the street, but be gangsters for their community and try to do the right thing, strong enough to stand up and make things move, to speak out against what's going wrong out here. You know what I mean? So, that's what we have.
Well, I think our main objective is to let the kids know that there is a difference between a gangbanger and a gangster. Most gangsters that are, or people that have the history of being gangsters, they ended up with jobs in politics. They ended up as like business owners, and they had political and economic control of their communities. These are people that took the teachings that they learned from being in these different street organizations or involved in different gangs or whatever you want to call it. They took the same values and principles that they learned in the streets, and they applied it to the business world, and they applied it to their everyday life. They made the transition from a gangbanger to a gangster. It's not gangster to not go to school. It's not gangster to do addictive drugs. It's not gangster to gamble in front of school. It's not gangster to not aid and assist your.
What did you get shot at? You know, you see me like this, it's all good.
Put it to sin. We gonna serve your ass on a bike if we got to. I don't know how they do it out there though. You know what I'm saying? I done seen niggas get shot on skateboards and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the business though. That's how I go out here. You know what I'm saying? In Compton, that's how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You might make it, you might not. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? When you get in this shit, you know this shit ain't no game. If you don't know, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. You done fucked up. The niggas out here trying to take your head. Niggas out here buying all these bulletproof vests. Niggas ain't aiming at your fucking chest and your back. Niggas aiming at your dome. You got a bulletproof beanie? We got safe for sale. We got safe. Come with your little combination key. It ain't that heavy, but the niggas try to run with it, you gonna catch it. Fireproof, fire safe, right? That's what I mean. Yeah. $70 in the hood all day. They go for like $150 in the store, but I got them all day. Come see your boy, AGBG 10 dog. Come see me for the safe. $70. I got them all day.
So you say you've been shot recently?
Yeah, I've been shot
shot about 5 or 4 different times.
Where you been shot at?
I've been shot in back of the head right here.
Go up over here, Paul.
Shot in back of the head. Was shot in my arm right here. Went in right here, came out right here. Been shot in both my legs. Right here. This one's been healed right here. Been shot in my stomach. I've been shot 2 times in my stomach right here and down here.
What'd you get shot with?
I've been shot with a gauge, a 9, a 32. I think that's about it.
Was it a rival gang or what happened?
Yeah, drive-by.
Drive-by?
Yeah.
During the day or nighttime or?
I got shot in this. Most of all my shooting was daytime.
Daytime.
I got shot once at night. I got shot right here on this corner right here. Right through my mouth. With a gauge right here on the corner, stopping at the stop sign.
So what had happened?
Shit, somebody was in somewhere. I could see where the fuck they was at.
Oh, they ass up.
They hit me.
Let it make
Yeah.
So they was in the car you was walking or
No,
what?
I was in the car at the light. I mean, at the stop sign.
And then they was in the car too or?
I didn't see. I didn't see him run, nothing, no car. They wasn't in the car. Because I didn't see the car drive off. Because I stopped and was looking.
So was you beefing with somebody or what?
Gang shit. Nasty killer. Brother got killed right there on the corner. Shooter was right here with an AR-15. With some bushes right here. And this shit wasn't here. And was shooting. My brother was next to him. Well, he was on the corner. Killed him, shot him in the neck. Jumped the gate. Fell and never got up. Motherfucking Mexican was right here. Knock on good. I didn't know who he was. We let them live when they acting right. We let them live. We let them live when they acting right. My money, man. That's my money. That's my money. That's my money. Hey, he didn't say my name. They would have had his ass. Hey, like Yin Yang say, all you gotta do is act right.
So y'all get along with all Crips or y'all beef with any Crips or no?
Crips, nasty right there. This dude right here. We don't consider him as Crips though. They never been Crips. Never been Crips. That's what NBC stands. Never been Crips. That's what it stands for. All day, any day, never been Crips. The neck bone murder squad. Never been Crips. Nigga, I know your whole motherfucking hood. You niggas used to butt it. Nigga, y'all transformed, nigga. Y'all older niggas talking. Yeah, you niggas was bitches back then, nigga. And I was whooping y'all ass. Whooping your ass, and now we killing your ass. Killing with big ass birds like this, nigga. Cage of block, nigga. Big stiff on your motherfucking head, cuz. Nigga, get a cage of block. We can't put that bitch shit on camera. Cause they might leak bad shit that you don't know about. Cage of block, nigga.
Eastside cops, the Spoketown Crip.
Yeah.
That's me.
Nigga, neck bone murder squad.
What's up, man? So what happened, man?
You already know how I get out of here, man.
What happened in your throat?
I caught a 4-5, man. That motherfucker was resting in my throat.
Still in there?
Nah, they took it out. They let it. I wanted it as a souvenir, but you know, they wasn't talking to me.
Where else did you get hit?
Fuck shit, you know what I'm saying? Niggas can't knuckle up, so you know I go down though.
So what happened though?
Just got a little tussle, man, you know. That's enough said right there.
Oh, well, they got there,
Fuck one night. On the fly. Hey, we right big around here, yeah. I ain't like that money. Where's that guy? Money ain't the thing. Money ain't the thing. Money ain't the thing. Fuck it out of bill. Money ain't the thing. Money ain't the thing. And it's real. Money ain't the thing. I'm a big guy.
All right. I think that's something else,
Them niggas is crazy, ain't they?
Oh. And you look into the urban cities where our people are supposed to be in the hood, being hooded every day, and we really look sick. Those motherfuckers look crazy, brother. They look crazy. And you mean to tell me the Minister of Farrakhan will say this is our best generation? Out of your mind.
He got to be a house nigga to say some stupid stuff like that.
Talk about it.
He said this is the greatest generation we ever produced.
Come on.
It's in fact the worst.
Yup. Yup.
Asian, what do they call them? Arcadia Block Crips.
Right.
That's who those niggas was.
Arcadian Black Crips.
Yeah. So, they were mentioned earlier in that clip, and we got to stay awake, you know what I mean, because we put a lot of information down on this particular topic today, and I hate to see it go to waste. So, we want to make mindful seriously of that. I was going to say, earlier he was mentioning, there was an ex-gang member, he was mentioning that if someone would have pulled him aside and told him, knowledge of self, that, you're playing with the devil and this is ignorance or whatnot, he would have quit doing it. He would have stopped. You see, although nobody never told him nothing, he didn't, he ended up becoming a statistic because nobody pulled his coat. Another fella in there, an ex-gang member, said there was nothing, if he would have seen better, if there would have been something better for him to do other than to sell drugs or do whatever out there, he would have did it. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying that if there was, basically what the brothers were saying, if they had other alternatives, yeah. I've heard it a lot too. That was also mentioned in the documentary,
right.
Gangs. Right.
All right. We back. You on?
And that's powerful that you mentioned that, brother. Very powerful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, you got me thinking with that one.
Definitely.
But a lot of the brothers did say that if they
had... Shout the Polar out there.
Oh,
hey,
brother.
Polar, get up in here, brother. Don't give me this, I'm from the UK, my sky cap ain't on and all that. Come on in here, and we haven't had a trio in a while. Get up in here.
So
we can break this bread on this topic today. Be heard.
Yeah, talk about
it. We need to rejuvenate Path 1 on here. So he need his brothers. So that means you need to get up in here, brother. Whoever else is in there hiding these, little guests, and some of y'all calling here with these unknown numbers and whatnot. Ain't nobody gonna call you. What the hell are we gonna call you for? We don't even know you. You don't have to hide and be suspicious with us. Hell. You do that with everybody else. Ain't nobody gonna call you. We not trying to recruit nobody. You recruit yourself with your own knowledge. You save yourself. All we do, we put it out there. You can't force feed somebody. You'll choke them. All you can do is make the food for them. It's up to you to eat. You have to develop the juices and acids to digest the food or to allow it down your throat. Even when even if they eat something they ain't ready for, they can choke themselves. They said it went down the wrong pipe. That means you can't just gulp it down if your body ain't ready for it. to yourself, let alone somebody else trying to force it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you, your own savior. So you take one step toward God, he takes 7 towards you. The key thing is you the God to take 7. You the God to save yourself. You got to take. Can't no God save you unless you save yourself. You take the step. God don't take the step for you. You take the step. So hopefully that's clear. So you all quit hiding underneath your covers and whatnot.
And how many people we have hiding under this? That's amazing. How many unknown callers we got hiding with this game?
Some of these about 2 or 3 people calling here, hiding their numbers and all that. I'm not gonna cover. Nobody gonna call you, man. Get the hell out of here with that. Then if we was to take you off of mute, you ain't gonna say nothing anyway. So that's all on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we can continue.
Yeah. So I mean, as you was mentioning earlier, with the old OGs, was saying that in their young day, that if they had even more better programs, but if you ever notice in the black community, or which is Negro community, you ever notice that a lot of times these black organizations, they had a lot of different gang units out in L.A., different parts of Chicago that tries to clean up the street from the gangs, meaning they actually do have a gang committee. But that gang committee is not supported by the U.S. government. Right. So you got a lot of black people saying, well, how come the white people, they say this, how come, the white officials or the police, right, or any of these other organizations, how come there's no white Santa Claus from the sky, or how come there's no white man to put money to stop us from killing each other? There was literally somebody that said that the U.S. government was his white man, right?
We don't need the white man to do
it.
Right. Do it for ourselves. Seriously. It's not his responsibility. We didn't make him to do that.
Talk about it.
He says that in the book. He says, well, you go ask him, why did you do this to our people? He said, you made me to be the devil. That's the key thing. He's not the devil on his own. We made him to be the devil. What we need to be doing is separating, getting the fuck away from him, and doing what we're supposed to do. Fuck him.
That's right.
We got to quit blaming the white man thing. That's energy wasting. Louise has wasted a lot of energy. 20, 30 years he been talking about the Jews and white folks, and we ain't got shit. Khalid, all these niggas been wasting all this energy talking about the white man, and that's what he wants.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's got his nigga in there handling business while you worried about him.
Damn.
Talking about him ain't going to do nothing. Meanwhile, Jesse Jackson is telling you to go pray to the white man. Go march. Go to church. Meanwhile, these house niggas is telling you to go to church. Go march. March on Washington. Vote, like Louise said. So again, fuck the white man. We waste time and energy on that. And I'm being blatant. I'm not trying to be vulgar or anything. I'm being very blatant to wake you all up.
That's right.
Fuck the white man. Let's do what we're supposed to do.
Right.
He's not shit to us. Once we do what we're supposed to do, it's all over. He knows it's all over. That's why he don't be worried about, they propagate Louise. You think if Louise was talking about something real, he would be on TV? First thing is, he's talking about Jews. He's talking about this. They want that because they know you wasting time. You ain't gonna achieve nothing because it ain't him you need to be worried about. It's these niggas. They the ones keeping you a slave. House niggas in the hood. I already said that gangsters, so-called gangsters, they're the worst house niggas there ever was. Because they're degrading your community 24/7. They calling your women bitches and hoes, degrading themselves, robbing you, killing you, perpetuating ignorance 24/7. Hatred, self-hatred, they're intensifying 24/7. So they're the most loyalist house niggas because they put in the most work for the devil. These gangster niggas. Oh, yeah, we play that.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, too. And I wanted to make a statement, too, when you said fuck the white man. Now, what I'm saying is that there was Negroes out there on this documentary, Gang in America, crying to him, saying things like, how come the government does not set up money
right.
and whatnot? Now,